Susie and her husband, Dave, and dog Cole live on the water in Discovery Bay. Her favorite things to do include golf, rock concerts, and NFL football. Pardon my puppy. Susie is somewhat addicted to the red zone, but still got last place in her football pool and looking forward to the 49ers winning the Super Bowl. Something no one knows about her is that her first paid job was for a radio commercial voiceover, and when she was in second grade, and she earned a whopping $2. Welcome, Susie Garcia.
Thank you. Ronnie, can I share my screen? All right, thank you guys. I'm super excited to be here. Always good to see faces I know and faces that I'm learning to meet. So I wanted to do a quick follow-up on recognition for the Power of One report. This was the report for January, so it was essentially the first quarter of BNI. And so we had a number of people that have been green the entire time. AJ, Celia, Edna, Joanne, Joel Harris, Joel Smith, Linda, Miley, Michael Casson, Nikki, Ronnie, and Wade. Congratulations to all of them. And then also we had a couple of people that moved up a color, which is always great. Rafael moved from gray to red, and Willie moved from yellow to green. So today I'm going to talk about attendance and does it really matter? Obviously the answer is yes, but I'm going to give you some math to prove that. And one of the great things about being a director consultant is we collaborate with other directors in the region. So I basically modified a slide deck that Trey McAllister did a few years ago, and many of you know him. But it's all the kind of stuff that I love. So we're going to talk about how does attendance impact your results? Does it affect your money? And what kind of losses you get from absences. And today looks like a pretty good day for attendance, so that's great. So we run the numbers and crunch them just to be sure. So this is the kind, I think my favorite position in BNI was vice president, because it was just looking at all the numbers and the stats. So this is a full nerddom moment for me. And I hope that those of you that are also nerds like it. And if you're not, that you still get it. Yeah, so what Dre did is he looked at chapters, chapter A, 34 members, and he calculated 266 absences. So they had 4 days that they were dark. So 34 times 4 is part of that 266, and then just whatever other absences people normally had. And their closed business was 3 million, which is a really great number for a chapter that size. Then he looked at another chapter of 34 members. Why am I not going? There we go. And they had 6 dark days, which usually the dark are going to be, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and then 2 weeks at Christmas. But if a chapter meets on a Monday, then they're going to be affected for Labor Day and Memorial Day. So it just kind of depends. And it also depends on what the chapter does. So they had $2.3 million in closed business. So quite a bit less for a chapter of the same size. All right. So then he looked at what type of impact that's having and what they could be losing from their absences and included the dark days. So that's something to consider. You guys meet on a Friday. If Christmas is on a Tuesday, maybe you still want to meet, maybe you don't. Again, it's a chapter decision, but he's also looking at that full impact. And the absences don't include medical, they don't include being late, and they don't include being left early. So it's only the A part of the palms that we're looking at. So we took the closed business and divided it by the actual number of meetings. So number of members times the number of weeks, which would be 52 minus your absences, which gives the dollar value per member per meeting. So each member is getting the same value of how many times they met. Then you take that member value, times it by how many absences there were, which is going to give you a dollar loss from the absences. Everybody kind of sort of following? Yes? Okay. So chapter A, with their $3 million in closed business, their number of meetings per year was 1,502, which gave a value member per dollar per meeting of $2,002. So then you take that by how many days were missed, you're at a little over $500,000 of missed closed business for the chapter. Then the chapter that had 6 dark days, they had lower closed business, lower actual meetings. So their value per member per meeting was almost 1,700. But then you still take that times their missed meetings, we're at $600,000 in lost revenue. And what I loved about what Trey put together is he went to a chapter that had a really good closed business, 41 members. They had 5 darks, 4.9 million in closed business. So their value per member was $2,757, but then their loss was almost $1 million. So a lot of this is the decision of when to go dark, but it's also that decision of, you know, showing up and making sure that you show up at any of your meetings. Oh, and then there's a cute little graphic. So a few other things that you possibly can lose with absences is fewer people see your 7-minute presentation if there's a bunch of people gone. And if you miss, then you miss the other members' 7-minute presentation. And that's really the opportunity for everyone to tell a little bit more about what they do. And with a chapter of your size, you know, getting one-to-ones with everyone, going beyond your contact sphere is a challenge. So those 7-minute presentations are really valuable. And you want as many people to see them as possible. And then there's the out of sight, out of mind, just for your 30-second. If you're not there, you don't get to say, hey, who knows somebody that their roof blew off in all the wind? That'd be a great referral for the roofer. You don't, you know, you don't have that presence. And then with that thought and with giver's gain, try to give a gift of a great sub. Don't wait last minute. Think about who could be a sub for you. Many of us have people that are within our own business that we can just call and say, hey, can you sub for me? And that's a great opportunity because they're still your business. But, you know, if you're going to be gone for spring break, you want to make sure that you are looking at your sub now. If you're planning a vacation this summer, it's not a surprise. You've already planned it. You've already booked your trip. Look at those dates and start asking people to substitute at least 2 or 3 months in advance so that you know that you're covered and that you will still be visible in the whole VCP connection. So I think I might have a minute left. I could take questions, but I'm going to stay for leadership afterwards so I can also answer them then. Thank you, guys.